right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, for the NAIAFBALL live show, powered by AdCraft Custom Apparel and Merch, your custom apparel, merch, and uniform experts. You can find them at adcraftusa.com or at adcraftprint on Twitter. And I have with me tonight John Cooper, the one, the only, the authority on NAIA football here tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit of national championship preview.
You know, since we've been covering this bad boy, especially since Joe Woodley took over just, 2 years ago now? 3 years, three seasons. Three seasons.
Is that you?
That's me.
Ah.
You want me to go turn that off?
Is it ringing?
Yeah.
The beauty of live television, folks. Since Joe Woodley took over, this has kind of been an upward trajectory for the Grandview program. We've been watching this for a while. But let's take a look at some of the scores. Not some of the scores, all the scores. There's only two of them from last week. Like I admitted to our live show pre-show on Instagram just before the show, John, I was completely wrong about what game was going to be high scoring and what game was going to be low scoring. I was completely and utterly wrong. Did you have any idea that Grandview Lindsey Wilson was going to outscore Morningside?
Here's the thing, Cory, and we left this show last week talking about Johnny Sullivan didn't have to out-duel Cam Dukes for Grandview to win, but play an effective game. Well, who cares? He out-duels them anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
No one in the world thought that Johnny Sullivan was going to throw for 4 bills against that Lindsey Wilson defense. If you guys don't know, Lindsey Wilson often, they bring pressure different ways, but their defense is built, they can send 8 back at times.
Yeah.
And the fact that Grandview went out there and threw it 47 times, that came out of nowhere. That builds, that's scary to me if I'm Morningside, because I have a lot more to prepare for than what I think I did.
I mean, we thought that Grandview, we thought all year, if you take away Grandview's run game, they're going to be kind of hobbled. They have 15 rushing yards.
Yeah. I mean, for them to just rely on Johnny Sullivan, he's seasoned, he's a veteran at this point.
Yep.
We're going for that ride to a national championship on our seasoned veteran quarterback. Unbelievable leadership. Lindsey Wilson played a solid game, but, he gambled a lot with the 4th down conversions, as you have up right there.
Yeah, I mean, but a couple of those 4th down conversions
came at the end.
Yeah. You had to have them, and they missed both of those. So up until that point, they were 5 or 6.
Right.
And so for Coach Oliver's team, it really is kind of a crap moment. You went good on good, and you just came up short.
I like to say, I don't know when, but I would like to find out, when was the last time Lindsey Wilson's been held under 30 points?
We need to have some.
It's had to gone back to at least 2018.
We'll have to get the fact checkers on that. We've got a couple of them. But yeah, I mean, what a whale of a game! And both of these games were back and forth.
This game was an absolute war. No one thought that the Lindsey Wilson Grandview game was going to go like this.
No, and I would be remiss if we didn't at least mention the fact, because the Lindsey Wilson people aren't going to let us get out without mentioning that the officiating was iffy at times.
That's just human error in NAIA football. I will tell you that I've seen the worst officiating in NAIA games compared to NAIA D3 and D2. Just has spotty officiating. That's just what it is. And you have to fight through that at times. The adversity, you have to fight through it. You can't put yourself in a position to rely on that, even if it's by official error. And, it's hats off to Grandview. But, yeah, I agree sentiment of that, yeah.
Yeah, and the other game where
this was a surprise as well.
It was.
How this one went down.
Completely defensive game.
Morningside, the difference between this game and the previous ones, besides the fact that Morningside has won majority of these, 9 out of the last 10, the big difference is they made Koima make mistakes.
Yeah, definitely did. There's only 3 sacks on the ball game of Koima, but I can't tell you how many times Koima was running around for his life and having to throw these 50-50 balls.
Right. The defenses both came to play. Both of them forced turnovers, but Morningside was more efficient on offense when it came down to it, and then they had a running game to back up.
Yeah, I mean,
they're more well-rounded.
Matt Strecker, filling in for the injured Anthony Sims, had just a whale of a game, just a very gritty game there. Northwestern, just when they got into the red zone, they couldn't punch it in. And that,
And this is 3 championship appearances out of the last 4 years for Morningside now.
I mean,
last 4 seasons.
People talk about the mid-states and how the mid-states is really, really good.
Right.
But you want to know who's been in the championship game the last 4 years?
It's the GPAC with Morningside. Yeah, and Northwestern.
Yeah. Just an incredible game.
Very top-heavy.
Steve Ryan said before the game that his guys have to make those 50-50 balls defensively because like the announcers were saying, a lot of times those felt more like 75-25 balls in favor of Northwestern.
Right.
And sure, Moser snagged a whole bunch. But the Morningside defensive backs really did a great job of leveling that score, and that's what held Northwestern down.
Yeah, I mean, just holding him to a sub 50% passing game, almost.
Yeah.
I mean, and then forcing those turnovers were just huge. When you can't run the ball, traditionally run the ball, you're going to have trouble. And they kind of bottled Koima up in their own way. Yeah.
If you can affect Koima as they did, he was definitely vulnerable.
Absolutely.
As much as I hate saying that for the reigning player of the year.
Peep the stat you got right there. Morningside held Northwestern to 1 touchdown for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, these games have been absolute wars. And you think about Northwestern still had a chance at the end to still make it interesting.
They really did. Yeah. They couldn't stop. That Morningside offensive line was just a little bit too much. But let's talk about our friends here at Maumee Bay Turf and Turf Nation Sportsfield Constructors. There's a midfield logo, a little fighting bee action. Not St. Ambrose. It's the wrong colors for St. Ambrose.
Yellow and gold and black there.
But definitely, I mean, you can definitely see these guys are going to be able to do a lot of the detail work that you need to be done on your field. You can make your field your own. Not have to worry about
no more maintenance. Less maintenance. How about that?
Yeah, less.
Just don't let no idiot come out there with sunflower seeds.
You know, you might have a sunflower patch at the end of the year.
Don't let no idiot do that.
But we have the semifinal players of the week, and a couple that are near and dear to our hearts.
The first one, if it's offensive, are we going offensive first?
We're going offensive
Johnny
first.
Sullivan, what a heck. It's NAIA, so I can't say the other word. What a heck of a game. Just the fact you're throwing 4 bills, 4 touchdowns on the road against in Columbia, Kentucky. Lindsey Wilson, 650 miles away, long bus ride. I thought it was going to, be a little. I know Grandview's traveled before, but just traveling that far east, I thought something was going to be a little messy there, and they trumbled through any adversity they might have had. The travel didn't bother them. Now they're getting a chance to travel even further east to Durham, North Carolina, and maybe we get something like that. I can tell you this, Cory. If Johnny Sullivan replicates something close to this, Grandview wins probably by 2 possessions.
Yeah, that's gonna be the challenge for the Morningside defense is to not let him do that.
Right.
Great performance from him. I'm sure he had some rushing yards that I didn't throw in here, but I do love that little juke move there.
Great picture.
On the defensive side, Tyler Wingert.
He's been having a heck of a year all year.
He has.
He epitomizes that Morningside defensive mentality where he's just all over the field, what we're used to seeing to these guys. You see him there bottling up, is that Koima?
I think that is Koima.
That is Koima right there. Bottling him up, making sure he doesn't get those wide open lanes like he did last year. 19 tackles, a tackle for loss, and a pass breakup.
And that pass breakup did come at a
was that the last play?
Yep.
Yeah, last play.
Crucial point of the game. Congrats to both Tyler and Johnny there.
And congrats to Northwestern and Lindsey Wilson as well. In fact, Lindsey Wilson, both of them made a championship game in that COVID spring. Yep. Congratulations on the great run you guys had again. You're an elite team if you make it to the semifinals.
Absolutely, and we'll see what they come back with next year. I know Koima's probably gone. You're probably going to see Blake Fryer next year.
Yeah, who had this experience this year.
Who now has a year under his belt effectively. And this is probably Cameron Duke's last year as well. Right. He's been around for what seems like years. We want to see some new
faces for those teams. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Cameron Dukes has been there since I left Faulkner in 2014.
Feels like it. But we will be back with more NAIA football after this message.
Hi, this is Sal Avila from Valley City State, and you're listening to NAIFBALL.
Well, after that about ruptured all of our eardrums. Sorry about that. We will preview the teams here. First off, we're going to take a look at what's going to happen when Morningside's offense is on the field. That is a lot of firsts next to their ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just say that I was going through my phone a couple years ago when we were at Grambling Stadium, and Dolenchek hit Jurgensmeyer on a post, like a 45-yard post, one of the best clips I've got of that. What Grandview has to prepare for, not only for instance, I would take away the running attack first. The offensive line for Morningside, you got Iowa on Iowa. We got beautiful Iowa All-National Championship.
Yep.
But Morningside does a great job of getting their home state guys. And, they spend a little time in Iowa. That offensive line gets absolutely huge. My favorite NAIA memory of just covering this sport is when we were not Grambling, but a couple years ago in Daytona.
Yep.
When Division I Bethune-Cookman saw Morningside's offensive line go out. And they were just in awe how big they were. They're still pretty big here in 2021. But, Grandview's got to focus on taking the run away. And then I think it's just hoping, we've caused enough interceptions this year.
Yeah.
Let's trust our secondary.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you cannot, and a lot of it actually is going to be contingent on the health, I think, of Anthony Sims. I mean, Strecker did a great job filling in.
Absolutely.
But you're going to need someone like Sims at full strength.
Right.
In order to make that really work for you.
I'm going to go back again with Grandview. I think just take the run away, focus on that, trust your DBs, whether it's a cover 0, maybe a free safety over top, cover 1.
Yeah.
Trust those DBs. I know they mix up a lot of coverages there.
Yeah, I mean, you've got so many weapons for Morningside, whether it be Jurgensmeyer, Schweigert, Zach Norton, Austin Johnson, or heck, even the tight end, Sione Tuifua.
And I will say for Grandview, their front four generated a lot of pressure this year. The 29 sacks, which could be a lot more, they've made a lot of quarterbacks uncomfortable this year. I think this is going to be a test for the Morningside offensive line that they haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this reminds me a lot of that first national championship game that we went to
With Benedictine
with
and
Benedictine.
Morningside, yeah.
On both sides of the ball.
Right.
It reminds me a lot of that game. And I think we have two really good case studies here as how Morningside is going to deal with really good defenses.
Right. You got to have your linebackers. Like I know you got Drew Buffelli up there. You got to fill your gaps. Like I said, take the run game away. Get those guys, fill their gaps, do their job. And I'm telling you, then it's just trust on the secondary.
Yeah, it's all you can
I don't think you can sit back and take that running game. You know what I'm saying?
Not all day. You're gonna let
you gotta just take it away.
Yeah, and I mean that's what they did. That's what both when Marion finally got their defense in play 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. That's what they did. They limited AP's ability to run. They started stuffing him. Benedictine did the same thing.
Well, and then you got Morningside's offense. The whole team basically is not far away. They've been on this stage before. They know what to expect. They know what the 2 weeks before the national championship's like. They know the travel. They're seasoned. With a 2 weeks off, usually as me and you would think, well, that's another week to prepare. Sometimes you over prepare in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Instead of just keeping stuff simplified.
I don't see Steve Ryan or heck.
Instead of just playing, which, I think that's where Steve Ryan has the advantage, where he has the experience. Whereas Joe Woodley, yes, he was there, earlier in 2013. But, it's different when you're the one calling the shots. It's his ship.
That is true. On the other side of the football, you've got Johnny Sullivan here, who really has made a name for himself in the playoffs, done a really nice job. You're still talking about an offense that is top 10 in your major scoring or your major offensive stats.
Well, and here's the thing. When Morningside's gotten deeper in the playoffs traditionally, a lot of teams kind of expose their secondary a little bit, where they're able to hit big plays. Didn't happen, but usually especially when they get to the championship game, little exposed happening there. But that's what happens when you have best on best, number one versus number two. Right now, I don't care what the previous poll said. I don't care what the seeds are. This is number one versus number two.
Yeah, at this point, we're right there. I mean, you've got three great options right off the top in Bennett Spry, Gerald Sama, and Anthony Turner there for Grandview to go deep. I mean, we're talking about just all three of those are averaging more than a first down per catch.
Yeah, and Anthony Turner had a huge semifinal game.
So we will see what we get there. I mean, Johnny Sullivan has to be at worst a game manager.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think they're going to come out and sling it like they did against Lindsey Wilson.
I think they will.
That's a lot. Morningside, you get 2 weeks, but that's going to be a lot to prepare for now. Grandview showed so much throughout the year, and now they showed a side that we didn't really know they had.
Yeah, and are you going to?
I mean, I'm sure those guys knew that.
Oh yeah,
they knew they could do that, but it just blows my mind. I never thought Joe Woodley would have a team throw the ball 47 times. Maybe I'm missing in the younger days, or maybe I haven't paid attention too much, but I don't remember 47 pass attempts.
That's a ton of pass attempts. But that's what you're going to see. And I mean, this is so reminiscent of Benedictine.
Yeah.
It's striking. And we saw this back and forth game.
Right.
It's going to be very streaky.
Okay. I will say, Cory, there's been times where we thought Morningside would run over their national championship opponent. Even though we saw each time the 2 times we've been, they came out on top. It was always a closer game than we thought.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, in that Benedictine game, they got up a couple scores. Benedictine comes back and scores and it was very back and forth as opposed to the Marion game,
Right.
where Morningside ruled the first half.
Mm-hmm.
We
thought it was over.
we thought we were on the edge of blowout.
Yeah.
And we weren't. Marion put it together in the second half, made a great comeback, made it a game. But it's gonna be a good game. I'm really looking forward to it.
Are we gonna make our picks now, or?
Yeah, we're gonna make our picks now. I'll go ahead and go first. You usually go first. I'm gonna go with Morningside. I've seen them too many times in this scenario.
You know, I don't remember last spring. Morningside, Marion, we were both correct. Picked Morningside because we learned from the first year.
We did.
To, not pick against Morningside. We were told we were doubters in the post-game press conference. We ate our crow in front of, two great Morningside players. But I think I've forgotten my lesson. I'm going to go with Grandview.
You're going to...
Wait, with Grandview.
Someone said we predicted the opposition to Morningside both years. Did we pick Marion 2 years ago?
Did we? No way. I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
We're going to have to go back and look.
No, I thought for sure. But if that's the case, I'm still sticking with Grandview. I swore that... No, I had to pick Morningside because Marion fans gave me the biggest crap when I went by the stands. So I had to pick Morningside.
I know I picked Benedictine the first.
Yeah, I know I picked Benedictine too.
Because you came on the Benedictine bus with me.
Yeah, that's right. I was picking against them. But something about this Grandview team is just having me.
I can't fault
having me go with them.
I can't fault you. Defense wins championships.
Defense. I think you have 37 turnovers you created. I think you're going when Morningside at times. Yes, they're efficient. Yes, they have big plays, but they don't take care of the ball at times. And I think this is going to be the difference.
We will see.
I need to research if we pick that.
Someone said, "Look at the tape." We're gonna have to. We're gonna
look
have to
at the tape. Yes, we will.
We're gonna have to go back and look at this tape.
If whoever that is right, we'll send you an NAIAFBALL sticker on the house.
Yep. And another one if you've got one already. But I'm going with Morningside this time. I have learned my lesson.
That's so funny that somebody's getting us.
Hey man, we need a show historian.
We know we need
a show historian because I can't remember what I ate last week for dinner.
Yeah, I don't remember breakfast this morning.
So man, but these guys right here, these are the heroes here.
You want me to do it for you since you've done it the past 2-3 weeks?
Go ahead.
All right. So if you guys don't know, $1 a month, skip the McDonald's McChicken, can change our lives. As far as changing our lives, we mean we want to be in person and cover NAIA football games.
Yep.
Cory is going up to Durham to cover the national championship game. I'll be on an anniversary trip, so I sadly cannot make it, but I'll be watching.
Yep, it'll be me and Cory Sr. up there.
There you go, yeah, Mr. Rusty. So we got Ace Wellen, Cordell, Austin Steele, Jody Hodgland, Jerry Quickle, Alex Garcia, Monte Mustang, Nathan, Ronnie Atkinson, Fred Christensen, Shirley LaBella, Jeremy Valuable, Trisha Prescott, my man Roger Meyer, Dylan Swears, David, Bob Boone, Cliff Pretzel, Darren, Brett Crochelle, Danielle Quinn, DSU Cone, Ian Sweeney, Blank Sintman, Keith, Marty Siebold, Justin Cobb, Dane, Nick Ryan, Hayden Faringo, Steve Card, Marty McFly, Art Castor,
gets me every time too.
Jeff, Kyle Gregory, Lance Demon, Jacob Smith, Tyler Pierce, Coach Steve Speakman, and Coach D67.
Yep, those guys are our heroes. They make what we do possible. Thank you so much to those guys. If y'all are out there and you're not subscribed, or if you're not subscribed, that is really the first and greatest thing you can give us is your subscription to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we don't even we love having patrons, But the first thing you can do is subscribe to us on YouTube.
and that's the free part. That's the
free
great part.
That's helping us tremendously get to where we need to be.
Absolutely. And if you do want to give us $1 a month, that'd be fantastic.
And we have off-season content coming out where it's just not me and you talking.
Yep.
We're going to go virtually get some campus tours going on, so future prospects can see the facilities. Maybe a coach can say something. But anyways, I'm excited for these next 2 weeks just to see the preparation that's going in. I'm hoping my Grandview pick comes into fruition. Not that I'm being biased, but that's my professional opinion. I think they're going to create the turnovers needed this game. Cory, what about you before we sign out?
Man, I'm just looking forward to it. Next week, we will have the week off. Me and you will. But I'm going to be airing a interview that I taped with the executive director of the Durham Sports Commission. So if you are a Grandview fan or a Morningside fan, we are going to have the places to go eat, the things you've got to see, the places you've got to go while you're in Durham, making the most of a little vacation.
Right. Because you should have a good time if you go.
Absolutely. You will see me munching on some chicken and waffles.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll see me hitting some of that North Carolina barbecue.
It's like mustard base, isn't it? There.
It is mustard base.
Yeah.
I've never had true North Carolina barbecue. I am a lover of barbecue in all its forms. I am a lover of barbecue in all forms. So we will, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Right.
It'll be fantastic. Player of the year. It's gotta be Dolanchek.
Yeah, I think Dolanchek just put that away, just winning.
Yeah.
Put Northwestern away. We said that if he won, he had it locked up at that point. And Lindsey Wilson lost, so there's no debate at this point.
No,
if it's not Dolanchek, I'll be absolutely surprised.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Dame's Chicken and Waffles. That's Jonathan.
Jonathan,
that is the
yes,
exact
sir.
one. I've got buddies that were in Durham. Or they told me exactly Dame's Chicken and Waffles. So I know I'm going to be going there. It's going to be a fun time. I'm going to have a lot of people there. Dillard's Barbecue. I can't remember what he said. I'm going to have to go review the footage as well because I'm going to be writing these down on my list. But yeah, check that out. That'll be dropping next Monday as I get packed, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So until then, if you see me in Durham, let me know. Come give me a high five, hug. I don't care. And come say hi. I love seeing the people who make this possible.
His wife said no kisses.
That is true. That is true. So until next time, we will see y'all later.